In the opening crash, it wasn't him, it was actually Lucas Brown, so our live timing was entirely wrong. Daniel Jr. crossed the line in 6th position. He's now been pushed all the way back to 11th. I think Indonesia and Malaysia, mind you, with Hakim Danish in his 3rd year, can be very, very... Not sure what happened there, but Singapore unfortunately started sick, down in 21st. So clearly it's all action behind. I've got to say, actually, you know, TV Direction are listening in. I'd definitely like to be excited indeed about their future prospects.
Absolutely. These guys are the class act, aren't they? Yeah. You know, and it's... Yeah, so maybe he was involved in that. Anyway,
maybe he was the rider that went wide or something over the gravel.
Right, so Vader...
Get a look at positions 4 down to 13, I reckon, because this is
Brian Uriarte, the local hero, who's the one who looks most rattled at the moment, has witnessed that up the inside. No, on Uriarte, no, he can't do it, but he's got past Hakim.
It's all very interesting, but it's a bit follow the leader. Clearly, the big chunks being taken out of these KTM.
That bit of grass cutting that he did just before.
I mean, that's the biggest bunny hop I've seen in Rookies Cup in some years.
Tim Danish, the pole man, and Vader now sitting in a very threatening looking 2nd place behind Brian.
Production machines is happening behind this leading trio.
Yeah, that's right. So we've still got Vader Patama.
Yeah, so, you know, we'll have to... I'm sure Red Bull will sort out a video of that and do the little measurement of how far off the ground.
Brian Uriarte. And of course, Patama set the fastest lap for the race so far in taking that 2nd leading. But they're, you know, they're lapping now at the 140, low 149s. But Hakim's...
And he actually went. Incredible.
He clearly doesn't have, you know, half a second up his sleeve or anything like that. Position.
This is pretty fascinating, Peter. I mean, we're not seeing anything like this in Rookies Cup with a trio breaking.
Pole time was 148.2, over, you know, a second quicker, does he? You know, all these guys have shown one way or another that they're very much on the limit.
And actually, away at the start of the race for quite some time, I would say. I'm surprised to see...
Then they're now going.
Well then, we've also got the number 77, as intelligent as Brian is he any more or less intelligent than, you know, Vader Patama and Hakim? Pugliese Morelli not further up, to be honest with you, but I've got to give a shout out to Carter Thompson. He's Martinez there, here we are. So this is that battle for 4th. Brilliant. Look at this. I mean, Carter Thompson, in terms of his racecraft, I think this lot are all pretty level, to be honest. Yeah. They're pretty leading the chasers from the leading duo now. The number 50, well on the case, leads them. You've got Fernandez behind them, Morelli there, Pugliese, the old sparring partners for the Euro. Crafty lads already.
That's right, and I think the great thing is Hakim has learnt so much.
In 4th place now.
Yeah, he did a 149.5, half a second.
European Talent Cup, now in the Junior GP Moto 3 series, goes all the way back to...
Much. You know, he was self-critical in year 1 and year 2. He knew he made mistakes, and he did do slower than Uriarte and Co up front. Well, in fact, a full second slower than Vader.
Guillaume Plante, who's back again for a 3rd season.
That he learnt things the hard way, but he has, you know, stashed that 2 years of experience to Patama. So they've got to find some pace as Carter and the rest of that 2nd place group if they're going to.
Paul Ramesdorfer, who started 3rd, finds himself in 11th.
Away in that head of his, and looks like he's making good use of it. Who have any chance of catching this trio with 11 laps to go. There's time in it, but they're not doing the... Yeah, and then that's no... you know, it's not a bad place to be in normal circumstances.
Down the back straight, they come in this replay. This was Danish where he overtook Patama for the lead.
Pace at the moment.
So, as we look down the order, David Gonzalez...
But when you started on the front row of the grid, you really hope for more, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. They are... Just, yeah, oh wow, and he makes him sit up a little bit as well. Very nice. Carles, another new name as well. He's battling up further than he, not working together and hunting them down, unfortunately. It's now 3.8. The gap is Morelli. Nice. Just sending a bit of a message there. Go on, Hakim.
Right, and here we are again down the back.
He qualified 12th position. He's only a couple of spaces ahead of that, but he's still in that leading speedway style. Slides it into turn 6 there to try and take
straight again. It's still Hakim at the inside, but it's now Uriarte that comes up the inside of
sorry, that chasing pack, I should say, as Beñat Fernandez is recovered. Number 7 back, the 4th position from Carter Thompson. He does No plan.
Vader Patama into second place. Just a lap and a half remaining now. Let's see who's got if
now in 7th place as well. And it certainly wasn't a flash in the pan. A 1B absolutely nailing it. But then there's Beñat Fernandez coming up the inside now.
Yeah, anybody's got a little bit up their sleeve. This is the time to show it.
Time for a swig of water. On lap speed from Ramersdorfer as he's in 5th place still. So a bit of a recovery from that early.
And there, as I say, they're all lapping a second slower than they did in practice as well. Morelli was a
to lubricate the throat for what's set to be a grandstand finish again in Rookies Cup to start the lap. Getting bullied out the way, I suppose.
And Vader had a nasty moment there. I think the front second faster than that in qualifying.
Off with the year, Peter.
Come on, stick your neck out, have a swig of water, and then tell me who's going to win this one.
Do you know what?
Sort of tucked, he'd almost lost it. He's recovered okay, but he's lost ground. It messed up his corner.
It's your third position on the grid rider. Ramersdorfer then. Very easily identifiable. It's going to be Hakim Danish.
It's going to be Vader. Vader's going to do it. The speed and his drive out of the corner. So he's obviously pushing the limit there because he got himself into a bit of a
bright red helmet, Austrian flag colours. Thank you, Ramersdorfer, for making our lives. Paul Brian. Oh, well, Brian Lilly proved us right. It could well be Danish. What did you do, Peter?
Trouble in that tight left-hander.
What can you say about Brian Uriarte, Peter? I mean, if there was anybody a lot easier, same goes for the likes of Christian Daniel Jr. as well. He's currently in. It's your fault. You need to apologise to him later.
I do. But actually, I think really it's Brian
who had massive pressure on their shoulders coming into this year. It's surely him, you know, runner-up in the Champions 9th spot. He's got the big stars and stripes all over his the American red, white, and blue.
And who might have to apologise because wasn't it Brian getting it all loose that put him offline anyway?
But Peter, that's pretty shit last year, only just as we're seeing here. This is Vader overtaking Danish there through as well, as you can see.
But it is no plan B. Marco Morelli, last year's winner.
Well lit for Pratama.
Well, he came from that far back on the first lap, didn't he? But it's a different...
One of the fastest sections of the circuit. That really took a lot of bravery.
Yeah, that leads that group. Let's see if he can break away from them. I don't think there's really any realistic hope of them. Tail now. On to the last lap then it is. And it is Hakim Danish that leads. With
there.
That did. And he did it beautifully, didn't he? Yeah. Absolutely superbly.
But as I was saying with Uriarte,
putting any kind of a dent in the leading trio though.
Decent recovery for Singapong.
Brian Uriarte on its tail, and they are, how far are they ahead of their...
I mean, it's one thing to come in your rookie season and shock everybody with no expectation, but what do you do when there is that expert who's actually off the back of this group we're seeing now? He's in 14th position coming across.
Over a second ahead of Vader Patama. It's 2 seconds really off the lead, and that...
Expectation. Well, he's harnessing it, and he's doing very well with it at the moment.
Well, that's right. And